Hi, this is Alcan. Welcome back to my channel. I'm using a handheld, so it's easier. Well, I don't know if you read the daily news a couple days ago. Maybe it was yesterday. There was a segment about the signal system. Of course, they had a picture of a supervisor with a desktop on one side, and around him, surrounded by 1930 equipment, the switch machines, the buttons, and all that stuff. It's been still part of the independent line or the BNT, both. Um, and the struggles with the CBTC to bring the single system out the code. Now, one thing in this article caught my attention. I noticed they said if they had CBTC and they single out this particular line, the G line, we could run from 9 trains to 15 trains an hour if we had CBTC. But here's the catcher. Then they put down, but the reason why that's not being done is because of low ridership. And it got me thinking, low ridership. You sure the low ridership is because what you say it is because none of the people riding the train? Or is it because you cut the service back, you force them to ride this 4-car train during rush hour like sardines, and without the tomato sauce? You don't want to spend the money on the CBTC or put new cars on that line. Because, let's face it, folks, all they care about is that opto. That's all they care about. So you're on that G line, you're getting screwed over and over again. And until the ridership picks up, which we don't know how it's going to happen, you're going to continue riding in these 4-car sardine cases 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for a stupid opto operation that only takes 2 days a week. It's on the weekends. Yeah, on the weekends it's okay. You don't have that ridership. But on the weekdays, you need more cars. They don't want to put them in. And why is that? Well, let's go back to history and see what went wrong. If you go back to the 90s, when you had the imbecile Lawrence G. Reuter, and other people that were more concerned about how much money they were going to get out of this opto thing than they were concerned about the ridership. Well, of course, from 97 on, when the G first became opto, you were still riding a 6-car train very comfortably, no problems. On the weekends, they cut out those 2 cars. You ride 4-car trains for the opto. That is until 2010, when Waldo, the disappearing NTA chairman, who was upset that he didn't get his way at the contract negotiations, did these draconian cuts. And a part of these draconian cuts were cutting the G line permanently from Continental Avenue to Court Square. When they did that, a number of things happened. The G line is no longer part of the Queens Division. So those cars that you should have gotten, you're not going to get them. Instead, they force you to ride a 4-car train, 68, 68A. You can't add cars to it unless it's another 4-car unit. They don't want to spend money. That's the thing. They cut the crews, cut the crews that would change at the terminal at Court Square. So the same crew that brings the train from Brooklyn has to bring the train back. It also cuts switching jobs. But you're riding a 4-car train all the time for just 2 days. The idea was it's supposed to be running 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, opto. But once again, the arbitrator ruled against them. So, what happens? You're stuck with a 4-car train for no particular reason. Yes, they expanded services to the G line by adding the 7-line connection to the G, Court Square. And yes, they put escalators, and I think they put elevators finally. But in the meanwhile, all those years before that, you had the Mickey Mouse airport escalator that didn't do you any good. That was a waste of money. That should have been done to get equipment and other things. Meanwhile, until the ridership number picks up, which I doubt is going to happen anytime soon, you're not going to get the CBTC on the new cars. I mean, if you could run a 5-car G train with 160s or 179s. Problem is, on the weekends, they would have to switch it over to the 68, 68A, again, costing them money. And the agencies don't seem to think you're worth the money. I think this is something you should be looking into, folks, on the G line. You should be telling the officials, you know what? I don't think this auto thing is working. It's working for somebody else's pocket, but it's not working for me. And I deserve better. If you don't want to put CBTC, fine. I want new cars. I don't care if it's running auto or not. If you have to get rid of the auto to put the new cars in, so be it. Tell them no more auto. You don't need to be squeezed into a targeting can for some superintendent to be putting money in his pocket at your expense. I think that's something you folks should be looking into and saying, listen, Danny Bradford, we had enough of this auto baloney. We want our longer trains. We want that extra car. We want the extra seats. We don't care that superintendent is losing money or not. That's not our problem. Problem is getting to and from where we have to go and comfort. And we should deserve a better train than this 80 style mix-up. That's all you should be telling them. Well, this is Al Kane saying so long for now, and don't forget to stop.